Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Mini Metro. My name, of course, is ZombieThePotato. First thing that I'm gonna go and do here. Can I change the volume just a smidgen, please? Apparently, I can't. I can only have an option to have audio on or off. Well, how amazing is that? I'm actually gonna have to go to my my volume mixer and take that lovely music down just a touch. Anyway, yes, my name is ZombieThePotato. We're playing Mini Metro. What a professional intro. I know. So I've booted up this game, and I'm not very good at it, but I'm not terrible at it, right? And over the course of a couple of daily challenges, I sort of want to refine my playstyle and see what works and what doesn't work. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of scores that have actually been submitted for today's daily challenge, which is the Sunday. I've done it just after it started. I presume it goes in GMT or whatever. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. We're gonna give it a shot. You know, we're gonna see what we can do. If we can do something special, then that is fantastic. But yeah, it's in the dark mode, which I think looks absolutely gorgeous. It looks really, really nice. So I don't know. I've got quite a few, I don't want to say design tips, because I really am not an absolute professional at this game, but I've got a couple of like standards that I like to uphold. So the two sort of main Orbital Potato advice tips, if you'd like, is there's sort of, I don't know, two ways of doing it perhaps. You can have lots of lines, right? Lots of lines, and each of those lines services a very specific geographical area. Or you can go for big lines, and those big lines have a lot of trains on them, and they tend to go into different areas. Now, I'm not saying that that's the only two ways of doing it, but that's the sort of two easiest to distinguish ways for an idiot like me to sort of say, hey, this is what one way looks like, and this is what another way looks like. Well, whatever. You're starting to see what I'm talking about. But anyway, we should have a couple more stations popping up very, very shortly indeed. And as you can see, the map is slowly expanding. Like that is what I love about this game, is that it just expands slowly over time. Now, another one of my absolutely top-notch pro tips is try and avoid getting two types of station of the same shape in order, right? So you never want to have a circle and a circle. Now obviously that's not always possible, and occasionally you might get a circle and a circle one after each other, or a square and a square right after one another, but if you can avoid it, that's probably like my most essential pro tip for this. Try and avoid that if you possibly can. Another pro tip, do I have any more pro tips? Not really, I guess. I think that's the extent of my pro tips, I'm afraid. But, you know, occasionally you will get a circle and a circle joining up, and that's not the end of the world. You know, if you have two circles after one another, it's not super catastrophic. It's just a little bit more annoying. Trains and lines are permanent. Are you shitting me? Jesus Christ. Okay, well, this is quite a daily challenge. Oh god, I did not realize that they were permanent. Oh my god. That changes things a smidgen, doesn't it? Holy cow. I'm probably going to go for a new line since lines are permanent. Jesus Christ, I did not know that. I did not know that at all. Holy cow. Okay, well, yeah, you can tell that I've never played the daily challenge before. Can't you? I mean, oh my goodness. Well, you know what? The order of this is not too bad. Like, things are still going okay. I would imagine that there will probably be a couple of problems on the blue line as time goes on, but I'm not too overly worried about it. You know, we can just progress in a nice chilled atmosphere, because that is what this game is all about. Chilled atmosphere. I think so anyway. Let's connect you up. Now that may seem like a bit of a wasted line, but I do actually have a little bit of a design philosophy, right? And that sounds totally stupid and ridiculous from an idiot like me, right? But if we can get the yellow line to service this side of the river, if we can get the blue line to service this side of the river, green line to service up here, and the red line to service in the south, then I reckon we've got something that's looking pretty darned awesome, if I do say so myself. You think so? I think so. I think that it would definitely work. Whether it will work, completely different question. But you know what? I've got some faith. I've got some faith, and I will indeed endeavour to do my best. So now we have the unfortunate reality of putting two triangles in a row after one another. Now, the reason that I'm choosing to extend the yellow line up is because the yellow line is you know, shorter at this moment in time than the blue line is. The blue line is already dealing with some fairly large congestion issues, potentially, which is not something that I'm super thrilled about, but alas, sad reality of the situation. The blue line, of course, is the only line with a square on it, so, you know, make of that what you will. The blue train is always going to be very busy going this way, but I suppose that's okay. Like, I suppose that's okay. The reason that it's okay is because the blue line will never have to take passengers other than squares from this station. The reason that they won't is because there's a circle on this line, and then there's a triangle here. So if there's a triangle passenger over here, it'll be satisfied to get to this destination, and if a circle passenger pops up at this triangle, then you'll be happy to take either the green line or the red line. Let's take our locomotive. Do we want two tunnels or a line? Well, I think, in fairness, we should probably value the line more than the tunnels, purely because we can't actually move these lines around. Like, you know, we can't move them around. That's such a strange feeling, you know. Usually in Mini Metro you have this flexibility that you can just, you know, you can just terraform the entire train network at your fingertips, and you've just not got that power anymore, and that's a real shame. But alas, sad reality, I suppose, isn't it? Sad reality. So I'm thinking, since we managed to get a hold of this extra line, could we potentially say, hey, we're going to have an entirely new line to connect up those two stations? Now, the reason that I say this, right, is A, it's going to reduce demand on the blue line to some degree, because all of the special, what do you call it, star shape? That's not a star, that's like a cross shaped. All of the special cross shaped signals will all be transported here and then be transported to there, just like the squares. So I think that'll work, you know, rather than extending the blue line up to here, which would just put yet more demand on the service for square capacity and cross capacity. I don't even know if that makes even the slightest little bit of sense, but I can hope that it does. Now, are we even going to manage this? Holy cow. We might not even manage this. You know what, let's extend this up here. Let's extend that up there as a matter of necessity to make sure that we don't die. Now, that may have shot us in the foot a little bit, because maybe a little bit problematic. Because the blue line is really fucking struggling right now, man. Holy cow. Blue line is really struggling massively. And there's nothing that we can really do about it. I mean, it's not going to overflow here, I don't think. But it's going to be close. It's going to be darn close, yeah. Well, not darn close, but you get the picture. If at all possible, we would like to get a carriage, I think. Now, let's just pause for a smidge. Okay? And let's extend this pink line downwards. I know this looks really fucking stupid, right? But in fairness, I think it's the most logical thing to do. We don't really want to stretch the yellow line. That's okay. Now, that means that we may have to readjust our sort of where each line is going to go. And I'm okay with that, you know. So, for example, the blue line may have ended, but, you know, we can still use a little bit of a blue line to the south, should we get the infrastructure to do that. Still use the green line for up here, still use the red line for down here. You know, that sort of thing. Got a locomotive, and we can either take a line or two tunnels. In fairness, I feel that we're actually doing okay for lines at the moment, so I'm actually going to take the tunnels, which may seem a little bit peculiar. But I also want the ability to just plonk down another train on the blue line. You know, crazy as it sounds. I think here is actually going to be just perfect. There we go. Just so that we can actually just get that increased capacity on the blue line, because we really just don't have enough at the moment. Now, problematic this is. Problematic this is. Because we are going to need to connect that up there. I don't think there's any other way of doing it, is there? I mean, I suppose we could do it with a green train, for example. Could do it with a green train, but the green train would cut off that yellow train right there. So I don't really want to add another triangle to the yellow route. I think the pink is probably the correct course of action right here. You know, as crazy as that sounds. As crazy as that does sound. We'll just, you know, this is the first daily challenge. Like, don't worry about it. It's simple-ish. You know, we're clearly not having the hardest time of our life right now. Clearly not. No, don't be ridiculous. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I'm stressing at the world's simplest and funnest to play game. Well, maybe it's not the funnest to play game, but it is a pretty fun game to play. I don't know. How do you measure funness? I don't really know. Fingers crossed that we'll actually manage to... Holy cow, that did nothing. This entire station is gonna be literally the entire focal point of all of my rage for like the next, I don't know, what about 2 minutes? This game goes on for probably. And also the fact that we've extended the pink line is not good. It's like not good at all. I would estimate that this is probably gonna go kaput very, very soon indeed. That is my ultimate expectation. I would love it if it didn't, but unfortunately I think it will. And if it does, then it'll be close. Right, so... I mean... You know what? Let's do something a little bit radical, right? Do something a little bit radical. Green line, it's your time to shine. Can we get to Sunday? That's another real question. Wow, we've got so many fucking squares to go to. Also, I feel that we should extend this up there. Like, that's something that we should totally do. We need to. We physically have to. We have no choice. We've got too many squares that are waiting to be transported. Simply not enough. There we go. We've sort of sorted it a little bit, which is a little bit more less stressful, but it's still pretty darn stressful if you ask me. The ability to not change around your tracks after they've been established, yeah, it really fucks with you, as you can sort of imagine. We seem to be having a fairly successful train line right now. I mean, in fairness, it's not the best thing in the world, but it's not that bad either. You know, it's you can't really complain. So, what do we want to do? Like, how do we access that circle up there? I would say blue, but blue is still having like major issues. Like, look at all the fucking circles over there. Jeez Louise. And we don't have access to that next line yet. We don't have access to it. Even if we did, we still only got a tunnel there. I mean, we've got a couple of big hubs, right? We've got, you know, the square hub, we've got the triangle hub, and then we've got the cross hub up there. And we've got some like micro hubs down here, but maybe we should have thought about this a little bit differently, and maybe that's something that we can think about in the future. You know, maybe we should just have one central focal point. You know, like we did at the start, where we've just got all of the tracks coming out of, and just make sure that everything goes through this one point, so everything can be connected to that point over there. I don't really know. I really do not know. But thankfully, we're going to be going into Sunday. Wow, holy cow. It's got a whole lot of options now. Yeah, no, it's great to see that we're going to get a train, a locomotive, so we can place it somewhere. I don't know where yet, but we can place it somewhere. God knows where. But whatever. Let's resume. Okay. This is going fine. This is fine. This is fine. Okay, we're not going to overflow on red, are we? We better not. Bloody well better not. Okay, we get the locomotive. Let's take a carriage. Yes, please. Yes, please. And the carriage is going to go straight on the red. And the locomotive is probably going to be used to respond to something. I don't know what quite yet, but it's going to be used to respond to something. Indeed it is. Are we going to manage to get over here in time? We're not going to manage to clean up that station over there, unfortunately. Now that's worrying. Let's extend yellow up there. In fairness, I don't think we're going to manage to do it. I think this is, you know, I think this is the grave telling us to stop trying so hard. I got an achievement though called Bilth Unico, which, in fairness, I think probably means something to do with the fact that we just got 500 people traveling on our track. It's pretty cool, you know. But where's it going to be? Where are we going to overflow first? I mean, in fairness, you know, 525 people, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Oh, we're actually filling up over here. Holy cow. Which just means that we're going to get just that few more people transported. Now, unfortunately, 536 people, you know. It's not bad. 543, I think it was. And I just got another achievement called Day Trip. Okay, overcrowding at this station has forced your metro to close. 543 passengers has travelled on your metro for 30 days. Don't mind if I do. Let me check the leaderboards, because, you know what, I don't think that's too bad. I mean, obviously, this is Sunday, right? So, top 25%, 17th in the world. Bear in mind that we're only an hour into the daily, so it could shit a brick. But wow, that really fucked me up about the fact that that we just cannot manipulate those lines. Like, that's pretty darn crazy. That's pretty darn crazy. But anyway, ladies and gents, that's Mini Metro. My name, of course, has been Open Potato, and we indeed did play the daily challenge. So thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.